and the cream of the crop of Central Pro-Am competitors have gathered at beautiful Table Rock Lake, each hoping to walk away with the $25,000 first prize and the right to have his name inscribed on the Ernie Daughtery Memorial Cup in the Stanley Tools Titlist Pro-Am. Central Pro-Am, there's never been another tournament like the Stanley Tools Titlist Pro-Am. Each year, the field for this special invitation-only event is composed of anglers who have won Pro Division titles during Central Pro-Am's 14-year history, or anglers who have won Amateur Division titles and then moved up to the Pro Division. In the past years, the contestants have had to pay an entry fee to participate, but this year's tournament is the first in which Stanley Tools and other sponsors have provided the prize money for the event. As a result, this is the largest Titleist tournament field ever, with 58 pros and 58 amateurs participating. This year's tournament is also the first to utilize combined weight scoring. Now, under this format, pros will compete against pros, and amateurs will compete against amateurs. But their individual scores for each day will be the total weight for the boat. All in all, the combined weight format ensures that both anglers work together to reach their combined 5-fish limit. At the pre-tournament dinner sponsored by Grand Vista at the Woods, the host facility for the tournament, the anglers enjoy a sumptuous buffet prepared by Charlie Steaks, Ribs and Ale, and enjoy the cool September evening with their families. But in the back of their minds, the anglers know they'll be confronting Table Rock during the difficult fall transition period. And where the bass will be and what they will bite are very much in question. On the morning of day one, the tournament anglers are greeted by gloriously warm fall weather. But they know this mild weather is what's keeping the bass in their summertime haunts. And on a clear water lake like Table Rock, that means anglers may be fishing in more than 60 feet of water. Butch Still has won 2 Central Pro-Am tournaments, and he's at his best in clear water. This morning, Still and amateur partner Bill Long are fishing near Table Rock Dam, and they're off to a good start. They already have 2 keepers when Long hooks into a monster smallmouth in 30 feet of water. Carefully, Long works the bass back to the boat and Still stands ready to grab it with the net. Now, Still and Long are in the running for sure. Tim Sonato has won only 1 Central Pro-Am title, but it was the 1997 Pro-Am Championship at Bull Shoals, where he caught back-to-back limits of bass out of 35 feet of water. Sonato is a guide on Table Rock, so fishing deep is old hat for him. And it's no surprise that he and amateur partner Donald Stevens are off to a fast start this morning. Eric Holt has won 2 Central Pro-Am titles, and he used to be a full-time guide on Table Rock before choosing to become a national touring pro. Holt's one of the best on Table Rock at fishing deep crankbaits along ledges and drop-offs in the James River. So far this morning, Holt and amateur partner Alan Quick aren't having the best of luck, but it doesn't take long for them to get in the ballgame. Bobby Sullivan is the man they call Mr. Table Rock. More than 30 years ago, Sullivan was among the first bass anglers to participate in BASS and other national tournament circuits. Then one evening after a cold and miserable day in Texas, he realized he caught more fish, won more money, and had more fun fishing in tournaments back home on Table Rock. So he quit touring and came back home to southwest Missouri, where he's won dozens of bass tournaments, including 5 Central Pro-Am titles. And if he and amateur partner Scott Stallings continue to catch fish the way they are this morning, Sullivan may be adding another title right here. When Jamie Edge is fishing in a bass tournament, he likes to run upriver just about as far as you can go. So that's what he and amateur partner Mike Purse have done in this tournament. Today they're fishing jigs and shallow running crankbaits around isolated shallow water cover. And when Edge can catch bass fishing this pattern, watch out. He's one of the best. When the tournament competitors come off the water and head to the indoor weigh-in at the Mel Tillis Theater in Branson, Larry Herndon and Jerry Thrasher are the first pair to weigh in.
How many fish do you have in the boat, Larry?
We have 5.
Total limit of 5 bass caught today, so you're going to have a pretty good start on this. How many fish did you catch today all total?
Oh, probably 30 or 40, I guess.
So fishing's been pretty good. I heard fishing has been pretty tough. When did the good bite start?
As soon as we got on the water.
Good sack of fish here. 11.75 pounds, 5 bass. That's your leader right now. What a nice way to start the day.
Next are Bobby Sullivan and Scott Stallings.
One nice Kentucky, 4 largemouth, the 5 fish limit. Going to take the lead. 14 point.
90 pounds.
90 pounds, 14.90. There's your leader right now, Mr. Bobby Sullivan and Scott Stallings.
Daryl Greenwood comes in with a magnificent 5.5-pound largemouth. But he and Scott Robinette have only 4 keepers and fall short of taking the lead with 11.65 pounds. Next are Buster Loving and Bob Utter.
How many fish do you have there, Buster? Limit of 5 bass today. Good sack of fish. 14.85 pounds. Second place right now. Buster Loving, ladies and gentlemen, come here for a second. Tell me how you caught these fish. You caught them on a jig. How long did it take you to catch your limit?
Took me till about 12:30.
About 12:30, and how you feeling about your chances tomorrow?
It'll be a lot harder tomorrow. Be a lot more boats out tomorrow.
When the second flight arrives, Tim Sonato and Donald Stevens jump into contention with a 5-fish limit that weighs 12 pounds even. Then it's Dave Barker and Kirby Coates.
How many bass do you have total, David?
5, Kibby.
5 bass total. How long did it take you to catch your limit today?
About 3 hours.
About 3 hours, and how are you catching these fish?
Mostly jigs and spoons.
All right, Dave Barker and Kirby Coates, his amateur division partner, have 5 bass today that weigh 12.65 pounds, 12.65. That's right. Put your hands together for them. They worked hard. What do you think it's going to take, David, to win this tournament?
I'll set about 26, 28 pounds.
Well, you got a good start on it. Good luck to you guys tomorrow.
Next, Steve Plank and David Calhoun come to the scales.
You know, you have a chance to win $25,000 here, and you're not wanting to come up here on the stage with me. Are you a little nervous?
No, a little bit.
What's the most you ever won in a bass tournament before?
Oh, I don't know. Amateur side of Pro-Am been the biggest, probably.
Well, guess what? You're in the lead right now. 15.95 pounds. There's your leader, Steve Plank.
Then it's Marty Conrad and James Borer.
Tell me about your day, Marty.
We had a real good day. We had a real good early bite, and you know, it just continued pretty well all day, and we just kind of pulled off them, and maybe they'll bite tomorrow.
2-day tournament, a little strategy involved. Oh my. 14.80 pounds. 14.80. That's in the top 3 or 4 right now.
Finally, Jerry Weisinger and Charlie Stinnett come to the scales.
Nice sack of fish right here. Currently leading the tournament just under 16 pounds. 5 bass. 12.90 pounds. 12.90. That's a great start. Can you catch these fish again tomorrow?
I don't know. I had 4 yesterday, and it's the same way I caught them today. And I really don't know. I'm just going to hope.
At the end of the first day, Steve Plank sits atop the Stanley Titleist Pro-Am scoreboard with 15.7 pounds. Bobby Sullivan and Buster Loving are both less than a pound behind in second and third place respectively, with Marty Conrad and Jerry Weisinger completing the top 5. In the rest of the top 10, Dave Barker leads the way in 6th place, but he has an edge of less than a pound over Butch Still, Terry Thomas, Tim Sonato, and Larry Seeger. In the amateur division, David Calhoun is in first with 15.7 pounds, followed by Scott Stallings, Bob Utter, James Borer, and Charlie Stinnett. In the rest of the top 10, it's tight all the way. Kirby Coates holds down 6th place, followed by Bill Long, Roger Bennett, Donald Stevens, and Don Jernigan. Stay tuned for exciting Day 2 action. We'll be right back. Time for Bass Fishing My Way. Helpful hints from some of Central Pro-Am's top competitors. Brought to you by Ranger Boats, where they still build them one at a time. In 1998, Ranger Boat employee Butch Still won his first Central Pro-Am title on Table Rock Lake, and he did it fishing his way.
Most people that catch fish on a jerk bait fish it too aggressive. On the right days, they catch a lot of fish, but when it gets tough, they don't slow their bait down. Just slow down. That's the main thing I can say. When you think you're fishing slow, fish a little slower. I use 8-pound test Maxima line and a fairly slow retrieve reel and medium light rod, 6.6. The light action rod, if you get to jerking it too hard, that light action cuts down on the jerks. With a faster reel, I get to wanting to move my bait too fast. You know, if I turn the handles a full turn on the reel, I've moved the bait too far. And you cut the retrieve down, you don't move it as fast.
The morning of day 2 is as glorious as the day before, and that suits many of the Titleist tournament competitors just fine. But the weatherman is predicting a chance of thunderstorms later in the day, and what that will mean to the fishing is anybody's guess. Day 1 leader Steve Plank heads quickly to the spot where he caught his first day limit. Plank has never won a Central Pro-Am title as a Pro Division competitor, but he won one tournament and an Angler of the Year title before switching to the Pro Division this year. And if he and amateur partner Kirk Holland can keep catching fish like this, Plank may just win his first Pro Division title. Not far away, Buster Loving and Jim Beavers are staying in the race too. Loving won the 2002 Beaver Lake Pro-Am, fishing deep. And since he does it regularly as a full-time guide on Table Rock, he is one of the best. Loving started the day less than a pound behind Plank, and he's determined to make a horse race out of this tournament. The same is true of Butch Still. He started the day in 7th place, 3.5 pounds behind Plank. Still and amateur partner Rich Gamble are fishing near Table Rock Dam in the same area as Plank and Loving. And they're having a great morning too. So far the fish they're catching are rather small, and Still will need at least one big fish to overcome Plank's day 1 lead. But right now, Still is so busy catching that he hasn't had time to worry about that. Marty Conrad and amateur partner Brent Northup are also fishing open water at the lower end of Table Rock and concentrating on main lake flats with large rocks and brush piles in 17 to 30 feet of water. While Conrad fishes a football jig across the bottom, Northup is fishing a Carolina rig through the same areas. It's a 1-2 punch that was deadly for Conrad and his partner on day 1, and so far this morning, Conrad and Northup already have a limit. This morning, Jerry Weisinger and amateur partner Ron Kelly are off to a fast start. Like Steve Plank, Weisinger has never won a Pro Division title, but did win 2 as an amateur, including the Pro-Am Championship title in 1999. He moved to the Pro Division the next year, and so far, he's yet to win. But he's been the day 1 leader on 2 occasions, and everyone is saying the same thing. He's due. And if Weisinger can keep this up, this may be the tournament in which he finally wins all the marbles. Dave Barker, on the other hand, has won all the marbles on 6 occasions and ranks 3rd on Central Pro-Am's all-time money list with over $150,000 in winnings. This morning, Barker and amateur partner Roger Bennett are fishing jigs and structure spoons on main lake points near Kimberling City, and they're off to a good start. In addition to his 6 tournament victories, Barker has been Central Pro-Am's Angler of the Year 3 times, so he's always dangerous. He started the day in 6th place, 3.5 pounds behind the leader. But like Jerry Weisinger, Barker is due, and everyone knows it. Then there's Larry Herndon. Now, other anglers may be fishing in 30 feet of water with football jigs, drop shot rigs, and other new techniques, but that's of no concern to Herndon. He's perfectly content to fish in 5 feet of water with a balsa wood crankbait and a round green reel, both of which are 25 years old, because he likes to do things his way. And then again, as Herndon will point out, there are other reasons why fishing shallow in clear water suits him just fine, thank you. As the anglers head back to the Mel Tillis Theater for the final weigh-in, the audience has a chance to enjoy the kids' trout pond and the vendor village outside the theater. Once the weigh-in begins, Brian Herndon and Don Jernigan are one of the first pairs to come to the scales.
How many bass we have there total? 5 bass total. Going to be a nice addition to what they had yesterday. Don Jernigan had 1180 yesterday. Mr. Herndon had 2.80 pounds. Add to both of those totals, 14.25 pounds. Holy moly, what a recovery. Great job. Great job. Don, come up here for a second. I'm going to get your total here real quick. Mr. Herndon's is 16.30 pounds. How much is it going to take to win this bass coffee table up here? That's all I got. You think 25.30 pounds will get it?
Good job.
25.30 pounds is what you've got. There's your leader, ladies and gentlemen, in the amateur division.
Then it's Pete Winters and Donald Stevens.
Let's call this weight here. 5 bass, one of the heavier stringers of the tournament. 14.05 pounds. Let's get some of those fish out of there, Pete. Let's get a picture of a couple of them bigger smallmouths. Let's get a picture of yours if we can, Don. Boy, look at those fish. Isn't that beautiful?
Next are Calvin Horn and Ron Davis. They come in with a combined weight of 13.3 pounds to move Horn into the Pro Division lead with 24.9 pounds. Then it's Scott Boaz and David Calhoun.
David had 15.70 yesterday. Scott had 4.05. Was you able to help him out today?
I helped him a little.
Helped him a little. Did he do some of it on his own?
He did most of it on his own.
Good fisherman, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Has no business fishing the amateur side, does he?
You need to politic that.
Politic that and get him bumped over. Holy cow. Add to 15.70, 11 pounds even. Donald Stevens was leading the tournament, 25.80. Donald, you're in second place. 26.70 pounds. David Calhoun, ladies and gentlemen. Great job. That is a tremendous job for 2 days.
Then Steve Plank and Kirk Holland come to the scales.
Currently leading the Pro Division, 24.90 pounds. So he's going to need about 9 pounds, 10 pounds of bass to take the lead. How many we got in there so far? 2, 3, 4. Man, you need 10 pounds of bass to win $25,000. Come over here. What's he need exactly? You need 920, bud.
I don't have it.
8.55 pounds. 8.55. Tell me what happened. Did you have a chance to catch that 5th fish today?
No, I didn't. That's 4 bites I had, I caught. That was it. We had 4 by 10 o'clock and couldn't get the 5th one.
My camera crews reported to us early that you had 4. They were confident you were going to have the limit. You didn't spend a lot of time on those fish yesterday. Do you feel like you burned the fish? Should you have had more fish? What could you have done differently?
I probably should have left them. But no, we didn't burn them yesterday, and I just probably stuck with it too long. They just never did come up.
Next, it's Dave Barker and Roger Bennett.
All right, here. Let's see. What's leading the tournament now? I've forgotten already. Yeah, 24.90, right? What'd you have yesterday? 12.40? Mm-hmm. Guess what?
Looks good to me.
12.75 pounds. Here's your leader right now in the Pro Division, David Barker.
Finally, Marty Conrad and Brent Northup come to the scales.
Brent representing Bass Pro Shop in the amateur division. And the reason that Brent has put those 4 fish in the bag so far, Brent caught them. Is that right, Marty? He caught those fish. That's a good job. Look at this. Look at this. This amateur got him a heck of a guide trip today. An opportunity to go out there with one of the best bass fishermen on Table Rock Lake, Mr. Marty Conrad, and catch him some thumpers. Mercy, look at this bag of fish. Marty yesterday was in 4th place with 14.55. Currently leading the tournament, David Barker, 25.15. Sometimes glory is short-lived. 14.25 pounds. Marty Conrad is leading the tournament, 28.80 pounds of Table Rock bass, $25,000 on the line. Some bodacious bragging rights, getting your name on the Ernie Daugherty Cup to be displayed in the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. Congratulations, you guys. That is a great job. Tell me a little bit about your tournament, Marty.
I just had a great tournament. Had just excellent amateurs, really good fishermen, both the guys I drew. It was just a really good deal. I didn't do nothing in practice, and I just went fishing places that I've caught fish for years, and it worked out really good for me.
I guess so. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2002 Stanley Tools Pro Division champion, Mr. Marty Conrad.
It's official now. Marty Conrad wins the Stanley Tools Titleist Pro-Am with a two-day total of 28.8 pounds. Dave Barker comes in second with 25.15 pounds, barely edging out Calvin Horn, Steve Plank, and Terry Thomas. In the rest of the top 10, Buster Loving holds down sixth place with 23.85 pounds, followed by Dale Johnston, Tim Sonato, Butch Still, and Jamie Edge. In the amateur division, David Calhoun is the winner with a two-day total of 26.7 pounds. Donald Stevens is less than a pound behind in second place, while Don Jernigan, Roger Bennett, and Kirby Coates complete the top 5. In the rest of the top 10, Mike Smith comes in sixth with 24.2 pounds, followed by James Borer, Brent Northup, Ron Davis, and Bill Long. Stay tuned. We'll be right back as the Fishin' Magazine television series brings you more exciting bass tournament action. We'll see you then. The Fishin' Magazine television series